Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining today's installment of Flex University. My name is Gil Casella. I'm an ancillary sales rep here for Flex, and our focus today is on ancillary coverage. We're going to be covering why we should sell ancillary coverage, the types of ancillary coverage, sales strategies, and tips on how you can position these products with your groups. Just a little overview on Flex. We were founded in 1998. We've been in business for about 28 years, located here in Rosemont, Illinois, with about 75 employees. Our two business segments are our general agency and our benefits administration. Under our general agency, we deal with group, individual, ancillary, and Medicare. Some of our providers for those services would be Aetna, United Healthcare, Blue Cross Blue Shield on the group and individual side. On the ancillary side, our dedicated carriers would be Dearborn National, MetLife, Principal, and Standard. And as far as individual Medicare goes, we work with Mutual of Omaha and Harkin, to name a few. As a benefits administrator, we have connectivity with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois, basically all of HCSC, which includes states of Illinois, Texas, Oklahoma, Minnesota, and Montana. And we're one of Blue Cross Blue Shield's HSA vendors on the retail side for individuals, as well as a group marketplace. We provide premium-only plans for groups that aren't up to date for a one-time flat fee of $250, and we also provide non-discrimination testing on a standalone basis, as well as being built into our FSA products. Now, the topic for today is why sell ancillary benefits? As far as the broker community goes, brokers mostly focus on group health benefits, as it's typically one of the most sought-after benefits by employer groups. And a lot of times we've seen that agents in the field are uncomfortable with discussing these ancillary products and benefits with their groups because they feel that they don't have the expertise in the products and how to position them. Agents and employers are also only discussing the ancillary coverage when it's already in force. So if you've already established a relationship with your employer groups, it's worth taking the extra step and discussing the ancillary lines with them. Regardless of how many lines of ancillary coverage a group has in force, it's really important to broach the topic of adding additional ancillary lines to fully round out their group's benefit offerings. Our role here at Flex is to educate and guide the broker community with the various ancillary lines to make you the experts when speaking with your groups. So let's talk about the ancillary benefits. And we basically have a top 5 list of why ancillary products and services important. Number 1, make more money. Due to the lower cost of ancillary lines versus health plans, sometimes it's easier to initiate a relationship with a group by selling an ancillary line than adding additional benefits on top of that. If a health plan is already in force, the addition of dental or vision policies can easily round out their group's health offerings. Going a little bit deeper, a term life plan, $15,000, $20,000 would only cost an employer around $20 per employee. You can also add voluntary lines with up to $50,000 in guarantee issue and offer them to employees who normally wouldn't be able to get a life plan on an individual policy due to age or medical conditions. Increase your commissions. This is a snapshot of a group of about 30 that we added ancillary coverage to their current health plan. Ancillary commissions do not and are not affected like some of the products in the medical field. Your commissions are negotiable, so you have some flexibility with your commissions, and commissions are set up on a graded scale and will pay a percentage of commission based on annualized premiums. In this situation here, as you'll see, we added all the ancillary coverage from dental, life, disability, and vision for an annualized premium amount of about $29,000. And based on the graded scale here, most of them got a 10% graded scale commission, with the exception of LTD at 15%, and that commission was around $3,000. So as you can see, it is a beneficial add-on when you are talking with your groups on health plans, or even if this is your entryway into talking with that group. Number 2 is increase your client retention. Statistically, the more lines of coverage you have with a group, the longer that group is going to remain with you as a broker. By having numerous lines of ancillary coverage in force with a group, they become reluctant with seeking or increasing their coverage with another broker. They basically fear that the change in carriers and brokers will disrupt the service and relationship that they've already established. But do keep in mind that if you're not planting seeds and suggesting presenting ancillary coverage to your groups, other brokers possibly can be. Number 3, get discounts on health insurance. An example here, we've got 2 carriers that we represent, United Healthcare and Dearborn National. They provide incentives for adding ancillary lines to their health plans. So basically with United Healthcare, if you sell employer-sponsored ancillary coverage with UHC that have a group health plan in force, the ancillary lines can be eligible to receive a flat dollar amount per medical subscriber that is removed from the bill as a line item. Another example is Dearborn National. Through their partnership with Blue Cross Blue Shield, newer in-force Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois group medical customers can actually receive ancillary product pricing incentives from Dearborn National. If all the case parameters are met, Dearborn National can provide up to 10% off in-force employer-paid life rates and match rates for AD&D. They can also increase that up to 15% off in-force rates when sold with supplemental life. 5% off in-force rates for employer-paid or voluntary STD rates can be applied, and they will match in-force LTD employer-paid or voluntary rates as well. Number 4 is very little service on existing business. Ancillary coverage, it's easier to use for the employer compared to medical coverage. There's typically less claims and less servicing. Number 5 is what I think is the most important, and that is employers need these benefits, or employees, sorry. As previously mentioned, some employees are unable to purchase life insurance policies on an individual basis due to age or health. Dental policies for individuals don't usually include orthodontia coverage, and if they do, the individuals pay a very high premium to include it in their plans. Group policies absorb the risk and cost and make it obtainable for their employees. Looking at a recent survey from MetLife, they indicated that only 44% of employees say that they feel that they're in control of their finances. More and more employees are turning to their employers for help navigating their financial uncertainties, and they ran a survey amongst their groups and found that 74% say that having benefits gives them peace of mind for the unexpected. 50% of employees strongly agree that because of the benefits that they receive at work, they worry less about unexpected health and financial issues. And 4 out of 5 employees feel that group benefits are important. Now let's discuss the type of ancillary products. When we're talking about ancillary products, we're basically talking about dental, group term life, disability, and vision. Ancillary products can be offered on a voluntary or contributory basis. And the biggest challenge out there is for the brokers, for you folks out there, is determining the guidelines and the participation requirements of the various carriers in the market. For example, most voluntary plans require minimum participation of 10 employees. However, one of our carriers, Principal Financial, will actually waive the participation requirements if they're able to meet with the employees and advise them of the benefits and costs. Delta Dental, they can actually write a group voluntary contributory dental policy that includes orthodontia and implants for groups as low as 2. So really the benefit of working with Flex is that we're here to help you navigate through these carriers to find the coverage that your groups are looking for. These are the top 5 offered insurance benefits. This is a snapshot taken by Principal Financial. It's basically a breakdown of what Principal Financial listed as the most offered insurance benefits. And this is also what the consumer mostly typically views as the most important benefits that their employers can offer. As we go through the ancillary lines of coverage in the next few slides, we're going to show you the reasoning behind the lines of coverage and how to position and sell them to your employer groups. All right, so group ancillary benefits, they provide significant value to the employer. Disability income can reduce presenteeism. Dental insurance can increase employee morale and productivity. And actually, an annual checkup can sometimes detect other health issues. Vision insurance is a great preventative benefit. A lot of folks don't know this, but through a vision exam, you can actually detect high blood pressure, diabetes, and cholesterol. And group term life is very inexpensive and highly valued by employees. Due to the low cost of term life insurance, this should really be offered to every group that you talk to. Again, a $15,000, $20,000 life policy costs the employer about $20 per employee, and it's really just an excellent way for the employer to show their appreciation to their employees. Let's go over sales strategies here. So we took a little brief look at why sell the ancillary benefits, but let's look at the particulars of each of the ancillary plans. Dental insurance, as you can see here, there's a strong relationship between oral health and overall health in general. 164 million, that's the number of work hours lost each year to dental illness, and the number of days that workers are placed on restricted activity is 12.7 million. Dual dental options. It's a strategy to increase participation with the dual option dental plan. Most carriers offer these as HMO PPOs, high-low plans, or both PPO with one plan being active and the other being passive. And by setting up a dental plan this way, it helps increase participation. A lower cost option is offered with a buy-up option with higher annual maximums, or the flexibility to get coverage outside of the network. Here's a scenario, and you'll see this a lot out there when you're talking to your groups, but you'll see employers that are currently offering employer-sponsored dental plans with very rich benefits, $2,000 annual maxes and higher sometimes. And over the years, the participation in those groups decrease because the premiums are rising. So the impact of that, they're losing people, and that impacts the participation, which down the road can affect a group from qualifying under their previous plans. Solution, add a high-low HMO or PPO or DMHO option. Lower price points keeps or increases the employee participation. And by lowering the price point and offering lower cost plans, employees who are considering waiving or dropping their dental plan now have a lower cost option, and they remain on the plan and they continue with the participation. Life insurance, probably one of the easiest sells out there, and here's some statistics to show why. 40% of U.S. adults, they have no life insurance. And again, this most likely could be due to age, due to medical conditions. Only 36% of U.S. adults have group life insurance. So that just kind of shows you there's a big market out there for selling the life insurance as one of the ancillary coverages. Even offering a voluntary life plan with guarantee issues that can go up as high as $50,000 for qualified groups. It gives employees a life plan that many might not be able to qualify for on an individual basis. Vision insurance really is more critical than you might think. VSP, one of our service providers or one of our carriers, they surveyed a group, and they revealed that 84% of employees found that it's just as important of a coverage as the other medical plans. We have special sheet rate pricing with individual coverage that can go down as low as $5 an employee. And Vision is really an easy door opener product to sell, especially if you're trying to gain the business of a new group. Statistics here, you'll see 120 million people have a vision disorder. 4 out of 5 adults, they wear some kind of vision correction, and 50% of Americans don't have eye coverage. So knowing that 84% are looking for it and only 50% have it, excellent opportunity for you to discuss that with your brokers or with your employer groups. Reduction in employee productivity due to poor vision, 20%, with $51 billion in annual costs for eye and vision disorders, $14 billion in lost wages due to eye and vision disorders. Another tactic is a dental upsell. Employees with paid vision or group life on existing dental plans at renewal time can combine all of them and receive package discounts with carriers. Again, for qualified groups, this is an excellent opportunity for you to cross-sell and gain more lines of coverage with your groups. Here we go, and here's the scenario. There's an employer-paid dental plan in place with a carrier that also offers vision or group life. The carrier discounts, like I had mentioned previously with Dearborn National and United Healthcare, a lot of times this is an opportune time for you to get into that customer, present these options, and see if that would make sense for them to move forward with providing some additional ancillary lines. Dual dental options suggest that the employer add 100% employee-paid vision and life benefits. There's really no additional costs or risk to the employers, and really it comes down to increasing the commissions for you. Voluntary plans, when they're implemented, there's no additional cost or risk for the employers, other than basically administering the payroll deductions and paying the bill for the carriers. Disability insurance, I think this is one of the most important ancillary lines out there next to health, because when you look at the big picture, medical insurance, it protects the employee's health. Disability protects the employee's income. When an employee becomes disabled without disability insurance, their income basically stops. So disability income is important when others rely on an employee's income, and disability insurance replaces a portion of that income. And some disability really is better than none and can at least cover rent or mortgage payments and keep a family in their homes. It's needed. Even if an employee is young and healthy, statistics from MetLife indicate that 1 in 4 of today's 20-year-olds may become disabled before reaching 67. Most long-term absences are due to illness, not accidents. And as you'll see here, 1 in 8 of us can expect to be disabled for more than 5 years. It prevents you from earning a living, and the average long-term disability claim is 31.2 months. That's 2.5 years. So putting things in perspective, would you think it's more important to get your teeth cleaned twice a year with a dental plan, or is it more important to ensure an employee's income should something prevent them from working? So these are the conversations that you should really be having with your groups. It's an eye-opener. It sheds more light on what the options are out there, and it broadens their thought process as to what our group should be looking at and applying. Here's some stats as well as far as the disability goes and as far as income goes. A third of the Americans working out there, they don't have retirement savings. 60% have no savings earmarked for emergencies. 65% couldn't cover living expenses for a year if they lost their job or wages, and 38% could not pay their bills for more than 3 months. Those are pretty scary statistics out there, which is really why we really endorse adding the disability to a lot of the plans. Some additional information here, 3,000 Americans, they've been disabled for, or actually look at this number, it's 3,000 Americans become disabled in the last hour. So that's basically 49 every minute. 30% of Americans will be disabled before they retire, and medical problems contributed to more than 500,000 personal bankruptcy filings in 2007. Kind of makes you think of how many of these bankruptcies could have been avoided if they had a disability plan in place. So again, it's crucial that we speak to our groups about disability insurance, and those are some numbers to back you up. Bad renewals, I think everyone's seen them. It's something that we can't get away from, and when we speak with our broker groups, the very first thing that they think about when they get a bad renewal on their health side is to cut the ancillary benefits, just to make up for the medical increases. What we like to suggest, and this is what we'd like for you to go out there with, is, you know, there's no need to cut these benefits. The ancillary plans that they have in place can always be cost, or they can change it over to voluntary plans. Just don't cut them. Offer the same plans as 100% employee paid, or they can cost shift and combine the fees and do an employer-employee sponsored plan. By doing so, it really gives the employer some relief on the premiums, and by offering it on a voluntary basis, the employees, they retain the option of continuing such important benefits to them. But again, it's really up to you as a broker to advise your groups of their options, especially during renewal time when they see these increases. I'm going to go over some helpful tips here for you as far as what to look for and how to navigate through getting ancillary coverage and even getting them enrolled. But simplified enrollment methods, a lot more of our carriers are offering spreadsheet enrollment to simplify the process. Groups with medical coverage to add ancillary coverage will complete a simple spreadsheet and it automatically gets installed on particular plans. Simplified process, it's less time consuming for everybody. Keep your clients informed. That's crucial as well. Providing information to your groups adds another touch point between you and your contacts within that group. It's a way of planting seeds for other ancillary products that the group may not have yet. And as I had mentioned earlier in the presentation, that simple eye exams can sometimes surface issues with high blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol. Groups might have passed on this coverage assuming that it was only to obtain glasses and contact lenses and weren't aware of other values of vision care. Doing your homework. Doing your homework is key. One of the best ways for you as a broker to gauge the employee's needs within a group is to provide surveys to the employees to see what benefits are most utilized and needed. And it's really important to know your groups, its demographics and the industry trends, and basically tailor plans for the groups throughout the year. When the renewal time comes, your recommendations that you've provided throughout the year are more of reiterations and are easier to sell. And this preemptive planning, it not only demonstrates your interest in providing the best service and options for your groups, the key thing is it builds trust with your clients and lets them know that you're researching and providing the best options for them. As far as product availability goes, we do have our carriers here. Principal, MetLife, Dearborn National, The Standard, those are really our dedicated ancillary and voluntary carriers. United Healthcare, one of the largest healthcare providers, has the same offerings with significant discounts off of packaged ancillary plans when tied to medical plans. Delta Dental, again, one of our biggest dental providers, goes down to 2 life groups and still offers orthodontia and implants. And Dearborn National, and their partnership with Blue Cross Blue Shield, automatically provide discount pricing to qualified groups through their Go Blue strategy. Some final thoughts. Incorporate ancillary discussions with every group that you have. Don't make it an afterthought, and always discuss the benefits of adding them to your group's current plans. And really what's key is don't wait for renewal time to discuss them, and get your groups involved in the thought process early on before their renewals are due. Again, another touch point for you. You've most likely already established a relationship with your employer groups, so monopolize on those relationships and always ask them to review ancillary options. Because of the changes in commissions and health plans through the ACA, more and more brokers are really gravitating towards selling ancillary lines to make up for lost commissions in healthcare. So really, if you're not getting in front of your groups to discuss these lines, you're truly risking another broker doing so. But last but not least, partner up with us here at Flex to assist you in navigating the top carriers that we work with to find the best options for your groups. Because in time, we'd like for you to be the expert. And in those times where you don't feel that the expertise is there, that's where Flex comes into play. That about wraps up our little quick intro here and our ancillary presentation. But I wanted to let you know that we do have more upcoming events. August 2nd, we've got a Medicare annual enrollment webinar. August 3rd, we've got a certification webinar. And August 11th, we've got an individual ancillary plan webinar as well. So we'd love for you to attend those as well. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us here at Flex. You can go on our website at www.flexiblebenefit.com. We're also going to open the window for questions for you folks here. So if you have any questions, we're going to hang tight here for a little bit, answer them as they come. But if anything, feel free to give us a call here anytime for assistance. Okay, folks, it doesn't look like we've got any questions coming through. I wanted to thank you all for taking the time to go through the ancillary coverage with us. If anything, please give us a call when you have any questions, and we will be more than happy to walk you through and share with you what we know. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you for choosing Flex.